Cool. And also waiting for a friend. Let me send him a reminder. Just a quick question. Nihaj, it's Niku, right? Is that you? Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
Nez is here also. So 1 more minute to for a friend. How's everyone doing? Oh, good. I'm already excited because we've already seen a few updates before the demo day. While waiting for a friend to join. So one of our teammates, Pierre, is also here. I think he wants to know a little bit more about Frontier Guild and to know more the cool projects.
Hey guys.
All right. I think we can kickstart because as usual, the session will be live streamed to YouTube, and then afterwards, we will do a recap tweet about all the projects with a YouTube link afterwards, like tomorrow. So the general public can see it. So let me give the general context. Let me share the screen also at the same time. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Right? All good? So you are seeing the Frontier Guild Notion page, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so let me give the general public the context about what is Frontier Guild and where are we today. What is a Frontier Guild? It's a builder program launched by Superfluid to boost ecosystem growth. The Guild is a community of builders working closely with the core team and working on high-impact ecosystem projects. Builders are rewarded with continuous funding, and every 2 weeks, there's demo day to showcase their progress. Today is our last and the fourth demo day of the season 2. Each judge will be given 100 units, and you can allocate these units to 4 projects. Because based on your votes on the demo day, builders receiving funding flow rates will be adjusted based on your staking votes. I will be showing the voting tool here. So this is a voting tool developed by one of the judge today, Sim. And here, once you connect your wallet, you will see you will have 100 units. And you can select to allocate these 100 units out of these 4 out of these 6 projects. So for example, if I want to give Super Boring Incentive 20 units, SenseSpace 20 units, then they drop 30 units, BuzzFi 30 units. In total, you have 100 units to allocate, but you can only choose 4 projects to allocate these units to. If you have any questions as a new judge today, we can stay on the call afterwards, after the demo day, so to make sure your voting process will go smoothly without a problem. All right, and now we can go back to Frontier Guild. I will stop sharing. So today I also want judges to give a self-introduction about yourself so we can know you better. Maybe starting with Ben today. Ben, could you give an intro about yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Ben. I'm the head of product at Octon. I guess like a little bit of background. I got started back in the Web3 space back in 2016, early on in the Ethereum ecosystem. Was in the space for about 3.5 years. Got super jaded with it back in 2019. Left, went and did a bunch of humanitarian work, building software for all sorts of different nonprofits and grassroots organizations all over the world, doing crisis response and refugee resettlement work. Got super jaded with that and had some experiences in the field in various places across the globe that kind of reignited my passion for Web3. And I came back to the space to help build new tooling for public goods funding and community incentives at Octant back in July. And we've been working with Superfluid and FlowState, another community member, for the past couple months on a streaming quadratic funding program.
Cool. Yeah, we are very happy about this collaboration. And thanks again, Ben, for joining us today. And Sam, I think everybody knows Sam already, but for the last demo day, probably you could also introduce yourself to the general public, a real quick intro.
Yes. Hello, I am Sam. I am a software developer. I have been working on Web3 for a long time. Also have been a Superfluid ambassador for some time now. I am going to be a judge today as well. My team also built the Council House tool that we are going to use to judge and distribute the funding based on the voting units.
Cool. Thanks, Sam, for joining again, and thanks for building the tool. It has really simplifies our voting process. We had lots of struggle before, but now it's really cool. You just vote the units, and then the flow rates will be adjusted based on judges' votes, and the team funding flow rates will be adjusted accordingly. So it's really a very smooth mechanism right now. Cool. So now it's demo time, and I'm really excited. Which team want to take the lead as a volunteer for the first team? Lee? All right, Lee, the stage is yours.
Thanks so much. Great to be on with you guys and excited for this final demo day. My name's Lee. I was CTO at Ultraworking, a small Web2 startup, until last spring, last spring, and then have been in Web3 for about 6 months now, learning as much as I can and digging deeper rapidly. And I am creating Zenny Drop. Let me take a moment and get my screen share up and running, and we'll go through my demo. Here you guys can all see it okay? Cool. Got it nodded. Yeah, so Zenny Drop is Farcaster native airdrops for Alpha Friends and Moxie Phantom creators. Alpha Friends is a social fi app built on top of Superfluid, and I learned about farming via Alpha Friends as I dig deeper into my Web3 journey. And so became an Alpha Friends whale to an extent and stuck around to learn about the community, and in particular the community of artists that are very, very active on Alpha Friends and are a huge part of the current active users. As Alpha Friends goes into its next boom phase, one of the biggest requests that we had from users is being able to airdrop NFTs really simply to the list of subscribers, the stakers that you have. And so I heard this problem from the community as I was using the app and exploring it, and thought that this Frontier Guild would be a perfect time to build a solution for it. So that's what I've been building on. It also includes Moxie fan token creators. Moxie is a protocol built on top of Farcaster right now that's quite popular. And so cross-pollination opportunities to airdrop to both parties. And if you're in Alpha Friends, go into Moxie, and if you're in Moxie, go into Alpha Friends, and just borrow from one each other's ecosystem. All right, so Farcaster creators love airdropping NFTs, but it's a pain trying to make it easier. First demo day, I chose the idea. The second demo day, I talked about talking to users and also having learned Solidity for the first time. Demo day 3 was this last one, and I had my first smart contracts deployed. Thanks very much to you guys at Superfluid for helping me a lot with that. And then also an initial prototype, a web app up, and then a teaser trailer that I had released on Farcaster. We're here at demo day 4. I've had my first organic users and reviews, about 500 NFTs dispersed, to various people. And I also put in an Alpha Friends direct link integration. So eventually we're hoping to put a link just straight into Alpha Friends so you can click on it, go to ZennyDrop without signing into your Farcaster account or anything like that, and be able to airdrop to your Alpha Friends subscribers and stakers. And then also Moxie integration is already live inside of Moxie Scout, which is also my tool. And then a variety of other UI and UX refinements since this last demo day. You can see just a few, some images not popping up, but you can see a few of the casts that we've had on Farcaster from different content creators. Aaron in particular has been working with me on the making of ZennyDrop and is also dropping to his own fans. DJ and Chad ran part of his voting campaign by airdropping token holders using ZennyDrop and so on and so forth. I think my favorite testimonial thus far was, "I wish I could come to Japan and hug you right now. Thank you so much for making this." So it's really great to see the community embracing the tool and to know that it was something very much needed. This is just a quick screenshot of the Alpha Friends edition. So if you click a link eventually straight from Alpha Friends, then it will bring you to this. You don't need to sign in to anything other than to connect your wallet, and Alpha Friends will be pre-selected. TBD whether we want to keep Moxie on there or not. We'll talk with the Alpha Friends team and see whether it makes sense with their vision as well. But basically, load recipients, it'll load up everything, paste the NFT contract address in there, and then click go, and it will disperse to any recipients you want. You can grab all of the subscribers and stakers. You can do stakers or subscribers above a certain amount or whatever filter that you want, or only those who are both, etc., etc. Just looking for patterns that I've seen on Alpha Friends, having been a user for quite a while, and trying to make all of these options super easy. I think one of the users I saw originally had, I want to say he took like an hour or something like that from I want to drop, having already written all the material and content and things like that, to actually being ready to drop his NFT, and then to finally having completed the process. So it was an hour end to end. I think with ZennyDrop, we took that hour down to about 15 minutes. And I think it can go even further, probably down to about 5 minutes or so. But for now, an hour to 15 minutes is definitely a win. And yeah, since this last time, this is since last demo day, I've done some polish, I've done a little bit of analytics. One thing that's been interesting is the post drop marketing for creators. They often like to tag everybody that they're dropping to. And so just a very easy, let's export a list of all the addresses, have an easy copy paste so they can take that and put it straight into Warpcast as they like, in a very natural way. So not over automating it, because I think that's a mistake. People like to be genuine in their messages and you don't just want to spam everybody, but making it easy to do the more mass outreach type of things. Shareable frames are the big piece that is remaining. And the idea behind this is that as you get dropped something, you're notified, perhaps via Directcast, that you have something, and there's also a frame that you can share around Farcaster. That makes it really easy to say, "Hey, I got a drop from so-and-so. Check out their Alpha Friends channel. Maybe think about subscribing. You too can get these drops." And so really want to create a whole kind of system where a creator is able to give a drop, someone receives it, they're happy about it, and they're able to share it, because I think right now a lot of NFT drops feel very invisible. And you want people to be able to brag and show off and share and get that whole flow going. So it is live. It's at zennydrop.com. People are using it. People increasingly are knowing about it. I'll do some bigger marketing pushes as more features get developed, but it's been a lot of fun to build, and very grateful for the Superfluid Frontier Guild to give me this opportunity to build. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thanks, Lee. Do you have any additional to show the frames you just built, maybe that's what kind of new since last progress also? So we can see how, for people who's not familiar with Alpha Friends is our social fi app built by Superfluid, and it's for content creators, influencers, and what Zinni has built is a tool for easily drop NFTs for your subscribers in Alpha Friends. They can also be adapted to Moxie token holders.
Yep. So frames are the final piece to be built. I think the frame should be relatively straightforward, and I'm planning to do it very soon. The striked out things on this one are the things that I've done since last demo day. So frames are the final piece to be built. But as you can see on this front page, like the idea is when you are dropped something, you get a notification frame via direct cast that you've been dropped. You can view it, you can share it, and fans can share the drops with your followers. So that's to be built, but it should be a pretty straightforward build based on the frames that I've done already.
Okay, cool. Sorry, that was my confusion, I think. It's very useful for friend subscribers and also for Moxie token holders. Does judges have any questions here?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it going to be then a website that people is going? Is there a need to claim the airdrop, or it is directly sent to everyone's addresses?
Right now, the flow is such that you don't need to claim it. It's directly
Okay.
sent.
So the page that it will still be nice to have a page to see that you received the airdrop and share it, I guess, with the people at Forecaster, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm exploring a few different ways to do it that line up with what creators want. But I think direct cast, you've received something into and in the direct cast, Moxie is also doing this, and so there's a design pattern that people are already used to, fortunately, that like tens of thousands of users have gotten a taste of, where you get a direct cast that you've received something, and then you have the ability to share that. And so I think that flow will work quite nicely, and that's what I'm planning to do for now.
It's very nice. I like very much the art that you have been sharing in the slides. I think that if you make the website more if you add more artistic parts of the to the website, it will look very, very good.
I appreciate the feedback. I just put out a few design bounties today for
That's
art
right.
to put on the website and the logo, and I'm excited to do a little bit of a UI refresh as it gets more mature.
That's
Beautiful.
That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
cool. Thanks for the feedback. Sure.
Yeah, we need a
Other
logo so we can put it on our ecosystem map. But I wanted to ask you, Lee, have you given any thought to charging the artists for the drops?
I haven't, because it's an ecosystem build and something built on top of for alpha friends and on top of alpha friends. I haven't thought about charging for it, so can chat with you guys and see what makes sense and so on and so forth. But yeah, for now, build, get usage, and that's been the motto.
I have a
For
question
what it's worth,
regarding.
I don't think it would be an issue. I mean, I think if as long as it's a reasonable amount, people would pay for it. And if especially because you can easily tier the amount to the number of subscribers they have, right?
Mhm.
And you can basically assume if they have 100 subscribers, they can afford to pay you, right?
That's an awesome idea. I love it.
Yeah, it's always good to, when you have a tool with real utility, you should not be afraid to charge a little for the users. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the feedback you got from artists. So there's been this question about the design of is it necessary for the artist to be able to mint from the website and things like that? Have you had any concerns? Did you detect that there are any artists that like being blocked by the fact that they need to kind of mint all the NFTs to their wallets? Just curious, what are the patterns there?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. It could be an invisible problem where I'm not going to find it until I really start to dig and go, oh, well, we didn't use it because we had to do XYZ. But they haven't been loud about it if it is a problem. So thus far, everybody seems to know their minting process and just be able to use it as they like. Thank
Okay,
you
sounds
for the excellent correction, course correction midway through.
Cool. Any other questions before we move to the next project? Oh, good. All right. Then who's volunteering for the next project? Astroblock. Cool. Neza, the stage is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I will share my screen. What screen is it? It is this screen. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hello, so I will present Astroblock. This is the game we're building. It's a small shooting game where you can shoot blocks that are coming from live blockchain data and earn streams depending on your position in the leaderboard. So, what's been new this week? This week, we actually launched our token. We didn't know it was going to be this successful, but it was like a quite a crazy ride. So here's the party. We had 128 participants, and yeah, it was pretty fun. And our token is now live. We have a new landing page that is not that is deployed. That is deployed but not yet finished, and we'll have this out soon. And now concerning the leaderboard, I think we had some troubles with implementing the reward system. We were doing some creation and deletion of flows that was a bit broken and old. So um, we've decided to like use a more scalable system with distribution pools to allow people to have to create reward programs easily by creating a contract, a simple contract that has that deploys one pool and holds a mapping for a position and a flow rate. And so that way in our backend server, we just have to update member units instead of looking, okay, does this person has a flow, update it, etc., etc., etc. So just going through that update member unit function, I think is more useful for our games. So this is a technical challenge we've had at the end of this um, Frontier Guild run. Uh, yeah, that's it. That's it for now. I think once we have this working with the distribution pool, we'll upgrade everything to mainnet and be ready to launch our game.
Or maybe you can show the game UI also. Yeah, Ben has a question afterwards. So because for the general context, you can see you have different blocks, and then you have a spaceship. It's also mobile. You can move left, right, and then you can shoot different blocks. And based on the score you will have the three of the leaderboard will have the rewarding streams accordingly.
Yeah, so here I'm using actually got a new ENS. What's it? Astroblock.xyz. Okay, I'm here. Dot is, and yeah. So the game right now is pretty simple, but just much effort on the reward system and yeah.
So first, congratulations for the launching of the token, and the front end is ready. It's more the reward systems. You have a little bit technical blockers, but then we will have a call with you right after, like in the following days to help you solve that. Yeah, Ben, go ahead with your question.
I was just gonna say, one, super cool to see Space Invaders brought on chain. That's awesome. It feels very like retro in a very cool way. Second question, where is the fund? I guess I have two questions. Where is the funding for that distribution pool coming from? And two, have you thought about like leveraging this as a service for organizations who are looking to activate their communities for various distribution mechanisms? I think that there's we can get to the second question after. But yeah, where is that distribution pool coming from?
well, I guess someone who is creating that reward program is just gonna initiate a distribution, and yeah, and then
So it's pure like I could just go in and set up a distribution pool and have people come and like play my game
I
to
think
receive that.
yeah, I think distribution pools have a configuration where you can restrict who can distribute flows, but I think right now it's only the admin, but you could have we can make this configurable and have distribution pools where anyone can but I guess since anyone can create a reward program, yeah, so I guess the goal of this was to make it easier to update the leaderboard and also make it easier for people to join in, like you said, other communities create a reward program and have their own distribution. For example, if you want to reward only the for the 420th on the leaderboard, you can do that and have your own settings.
So thank you.
But on the base game, the reward is in Astro, right?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna deploy a reward program with Astro and
Got
have
it.
token also used in other stuff as well.
Not a question, but I would love to speak one-on-one after, because our whole thing at Octant is creating value streams and using that for various things. So
Okay, cool.
super excited by what you're doing.
Thanks.
Nice, cool. I think it's also about if users have to pay up to a certain point, because right now is you play, you get the highest score, and you just get the rewards. Up to a certain point, you also need to think the gaming mechanism. Does users have to pay to enter? Does it them to have to pay to have more other features? So, or you get the rewards of Astro first, and then once you accumulate certain Astros, you burn the Astro to get some special, I don't know, features so that you can shoot better than others. So that's all something, I mean, you can discover later. Yeah.
Something that I don't know if you see my screen, but this is basically the ship we're using. It's open source assets, and we'll probably have like itemized things like go faster and shoot stronger, like you said, and all these kind of items with these assets. So that's something we're gonna work on as well.
Cool. Any other questions from the judges or the public space? All right. No? I also really like the concept of the spaceship concept, shooting spaceship plus a blockchain, the block space, So it's really cool. And yeah, so the next step will be solving the technical issue and put it on mainnet. And once it's on mainnet, users can go and test it and play it, and will attract more communities. And wish Astro go higher.
When
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Nida. Thanks, the Astroblock team. Who want to take the next step? The next project presentation? Any volunteer here? SenseBase or Mercury or yeah.
So we can go. We can go. If
Cool.
everybody's ready. Yeah, sure. And by the way, I can mention it later again, but if everybody we posted the test link for the PWA the alpha version of our app that we're launching later this week both in the Telegram and in the Zoom chat here. And so feel free to make your avatar, because we're going to try to do a test with everybody here as part of our demo. So let me just quickly share my screen here. And so we are SenseBase. Before I get into what we're building here, a little bit about sort of who we are and why we're building what we're building. We're based in Tokyo, and we are, experienced both building sort of communities on-chain and off-chain in and around sort of a wide range of different spaces. I myself used to run my own indie hip hop label here, and Ryoma is someone who's very active in the public goods community as well, and goes by Civic Hacker. And so Ben and I mentioned doing stuff in and around public goods, and so a lot of overlap there. But have built sort of creative and mission-driven communities, as well as have a lot of experience sort of world building and building different games and products, specifically in and around on-chain social. We've been focused on building on Farcaster this year, and I've taken all sort of the learnings that we've gotten sort of throughout that process to think about what is sort of the experience and platform that we feel like we want to create to help sort of the communities around us come on chain and really build something that people want to be a part of. And one of our key learnings as we've been building in the space is that a lot of the whether it be sort of within real world contexts, in sort of physical world contexts, or even within digital world contexts, that we the relationships that we build and the conversations that we have are highly context driven. And so not to say something too controversial here, but even in the context of something like a Farcaster, there is a lot of sort of that existing context that people are coming in with when those communities are being built. And so, our thesis with the SunSpace app that we're building is that, by creating a novel experience, entirely net new context, that we can create sort of a different type of community and a different type of experience that lets people really connect on the content of that experience, as opposed to potentially the pre-existing social context that they're already participating in. And so the SunSpace app, which PW is finally launching this up on the 9th. And so in 3 days from now is a chat app that rewards users for having good conversations. And so what that looks like from an experience perspective, which you guys can test out all together in a few seconds here, is that you create your own avatar in pseudonym. You select a category or a topic that you're interested in talking about. You match with somebody within the application, have a 5-minute chat, which for the sake of today, for the demo, we actually cut down the time to 1 minute so that you can actually do it live here. But you have a 5-minute chat that disappears after 5 minutes. And so you don't know who you're talking with, and also the chat history disappears. And so effectively it's a forum to have an honest conversation about a topic that you care about with somebody that you don't know, which is a novel social experience. And after having these conversations, based on the number of conversations that you have, based on how long the conversations that you have are, you're able to receive a stream of send tokens, which can be used to purchase things within the application. You also receive different cute little badges like the ones that we created here for different achievements that we create within the application. And so it's another sort of fun way to dig deeper into the sort of engagement within the application. And so, super simple MVP. We plan to, test this out at DevCon to really sort of test our theses of, this idea of, removing the social context. Does it truly, do people truly appreciate that? Do they want to know who they are at the end of it? Is this 5-minute, disappearing campus something that's really compelling, or are people more tied to the avatar element and sort of really focusing on that anonymity as opposed to sort of this time-bound canvas? And so, we look forward to testing out a lot of our theses with Pro users at DevCon. And so that's what we're up to next. But before we go any further, how many people here today have actually gone ahead and gotten the application? You can also, oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. You guys can also scan it here if you haven't gotten it yet. And so I'll give you guys a few seconds to scan. Alrighty, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen here because Yoma, our resident civic hacker and CTO, is gonna share his phone screen so you guys can see his experience while you guys are playing. But yeah, go ahead if you've already signed in, go into the app. There's only one topic right now, which if you guys already see the topic, there's a Japanese term called rubbing the sesame seeds, or komasuri if you're familiar. But it means sucking up, so to speak. But the topic, as you can see, is what do you like about Superfluid? And so yeah, feel free to go into that topic and see if you can go ahead and match with somebody. And yeah, you won't know who you've matched with. You matched with somebody else in this room. Don't say who your avatar is, or else we get rid of sort of the illusion here that we've created. But yeah, feel free to pop in.
Talking with Bob right now.
Okay, but don't say who Bob is, or else we lose the anonymity element. But we'll give it a minute or two, maybe to 39 here, and then we'll go back in a little bit into our go to market and close. And so yeah, feel free to like raise your hand when you're done with your chat. And just curious, how many people are actually in a chat at the moment? Oh wait, wait. Okay, so we got a few people. So okay, we got a few people. So we don't know who's necessarily talking with who. But yeah, but I think you get the gist of the experience. You have your chat, the end of the chat. You rate the chat. We specifically for this MVP didn't make that a part of the stream calculation because we felt that was extraordinarily farmable. And so it's instead you have to wait, you have to be in the chat for 5 minutes over and over again, which is a really painstaking thing to farm. There are definitely more efficient ways to farm. And so that's sort of a strategic design point to try to avoid farming within the application. But yeah, but hopefully, yeah, you guys are Slay, are you done with your chat?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. So I'll go back quickly to sort of how we plan to bring this to market here. But thank you guys for testing it out. We're going to do a bigger test tomorrow at the meetup for anybody who's down to be our guinea pig. So appreciate everybody's help. But yeah, as our go-to-market strategy, we feel like this is a really interesting tool to kind of reshuffle communities. You know, within existing on-chain communities, some people have more legacy, less legacy, different levels of skill sets. And so by putting everybody on the level playing field, sort of creating new types of relationships and connection through this sort of layer of anonymity. And then also, you know, specifically in and around events. Unfortunately, timing wise, we wanted to get this out a little bit earlier, but it's going live at the end of this week. We're doing some marketing as this is like an election therapy tool for people to commiserate about the election. But any sort of events that happen digitally or physically, you know, with DevCon, this can be sort of the digital breakout room of sorts to have honest conversations that maybe you don't necessarily want to say from the mountaintops how you're feeling about the election on Twitter per se, or maybe you do, but I don't think everybody does. And so, you know, this can be sort of a safe space for those sort of folks around events. And then yeah, so I'll throw the link in a chat in a second, but we just launched the sort of commemorative NFT and just sort of announced that sort of the value proposition and sort of the launch date. And so yeah, everybody here can get early access, but feel free to mint to support. And yeah, thank you everybody for listening in.
Maybe Yuki, you can show a little bit how the app looks like when you're inside, you know, when you have a topic, when you join, just quickly, because we didn't see your screen before.
That'd be great.
Okay, so let me share
Then we can follow with Ben's questions.
Yeah, messy window. I'm sorry, it's very messy. So this is a PW application. So yeah, let's create some.
So yeah, you can choose.
Yeah, you
test.
can choose a avatar and pick a pseudonym.
So anonymous, you choose which topics you want. Yeah.
And let's go to inside. So we have the home screen and the store page. So every time we need the ticket, so you can buy ticket or the tokens and the Aura. Aura is a super like, right? So, and let's have some chat here and maybe matched. So I matched the different device from them here. So if the people is typing, so you can see the typing text every time, real time, and you can also type here like something like that. And if you get super like, you get flower badges on your chat bubble. So after having a chat together, you can get string send token by Superfluid. So let me check. I think it's
okay, cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, in my conversation, people were asking, "What's Aura?" So it's actually a flower, which is cute.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we really love the app. The user onboarding flow was really smooth on our side. So Ben, I think, is very interested also. Ben, you can ask your questions about
Yeah,
the app.
so the app is super intuitive and looks great. The question I have is about like user activation. So obviously a short-term or vanishing chat app is reliant on like high user retention and specifically people coming back to the app multiple times. And I noticed during the sign up flow that I got to select like different things I was interested in or what my primary purpose was. Have you thought about enabling the app to send push notifications when someone new logs on to talk about a certain topic? Yeah, I assume so. I just wanted to.
Yeah. So for specifically for DevCon, our strategy, we're sort of A/B testing different timeframes around push notifications. So one timeframe we're testing is take 5 at 5. And then another one is sort of late night chats because we felt like midday people are going to be running around and not looking at their phones, and so trying to find that right time frame. And then also, if something controversial happens, or if somebody says something ridiculous, or if like there's a lot of people talking about a topic that you were interested in, then maybe we can send a push notification to you. So playing around with some of those tactics as a way to bring people into the app.
Even more on an individual level, like I said, my primary interest was in helping people. And if somebody comes up and like posts a topic that's a question, like should I, as a user with an explicit interest, get a notification that says like, hey, come chat with this person? Like in real time almost. Like, is that something that you guys have explored or thought about?
Not specifically with the suggested topic, because right now, just for the MVP, that just comes to us and it doesn't go directly in. But yeah, like greater customization is something that we're very interested in. One of the things in that sense we've been thinking about is doing it based on your on-chain activity. And so you just bought X token, and so you can see like somebody else who comes into the chat who also bought X token, and that's something to connect about, or some other on-chain activity. But using on-chain activity is sort of especially for building on-chain app, is sort of a native way to do that hyper customization.
Hot take. I think that if you want people to have conversations, tying it to what they care about and not their on-chain activity is a better way to go.
True. Good point. Yeah, I think thinking about what one of our big questions is like, are people here to talk about feelings or people talk about issues? And I think we're testing both at launch. And so I think DevCon does skew things a little bit in terms of people probably more likely to talk about issues and professional things than feelings, but maybe not. Who knows? We'll find out. And I think that's something that we want to dig into more as we onboard some of these more specific on-chain communities, which is sort of our core strategy coming in, is having that sort of pre-qualification, but then reshuffling those audiences. And so yeah, no, point taken that on-chain activity isn't so emotional. But yeah, it's something that we can sort of test and learn in the future.
I wonder if brands would pay to sponsor a topic. I mean, I don't know if it's that high value, but maybe.
Yeah, so to be perfectly honest, because we didn't have an app, or we have an app on Saturday. We've been talking to partners first, but that's something that we want to do. Actually, we had a conversation today in Japan. This is a funny category. Is anybody familiar with the term Shibuya meltdown by chance? We talked to the Shibuya Meltdown folks today, and they're interested in doing like meltdown stories. So Shibuya Meltdown is getting too drunk in Shibuya that you can't go home in Tokyo. And so they run a very famous Instagram account. And so talking about sort of your drunk stories together anonymously on the app is sort of a fun idea, but things like that feel really intuitive.
Nice. Yeah. So thanks for the valuable inputs. And I think what Ben was suggesting is also you can kind of have algorithm behind to matching people who have the same interest, so that it can help like the conversation quality, etc., and also can help users to come back to your app as well. So that's why DevCon is important. You're gonna get lots of user feedbacks about what they think will be the best, and then help iterate your products. All right, I think we should move to the next one, but really cool. I really like the user flow and the really cool app. Okay, who's going to go next? Mark, you're ready, or Daitva? Buzzfy? Okay. So Buzzfy, the stage is yours.
Maruti, are you presenting?
Yep. Hey, hi everyone. I think my screen is visible. Hey, hello. So yeah, we are Team Buzzify. So we are building a prediction marketplace. So as usual, today's like very big event. US election result just got out of, and the poly market got burst up. So prediction markets are just beginning, and the craze is very well here in the community. Also, we are talking with people, and people are crazy about the prediction markets right now in the crypto space. So we are building Buzzify, the platform where you have cool derivatives, just not like the poly markets. We are building up the derivatives derived from the content creators engagement as our first go-to market, and where we are going to have the engagement score from the content creators, likes, views, and subscribers that they gain over the time period, and we will calculate the score, and then user need to predict how much he is going to grow. Just it's as simple as predicting who is going to go viral on the social media apps. So yeah, so more you close to predict, more you win. So our simple main core algorithm is like, we want to reward users where users have the ability to get the rewards as they are predicting to the scores or the close to the prediction. So we don't want to give users just yes or no, where users just going to lose all the money they have betted on the any pool or the derivatives. So we want them to get their amount as they predict close to the any predictions. So yeah, so we have some updates in Mode. So yeah, Buzzify. So now like on the poly markets, US election just got completed and the results are out. So there are no more craze between any derivatives in the poly market if we accept the only the pool of the Kamala Harris versus the Donald Trump, where users have the more retention and they have betted on it. So yeah, users need something more more different things where users can bet and the more familiar to them, and yeah, something where they can predict much closer to the score. Yeah. So where Buzzify comes into the picture, Buzzify just creating some coolest derivatives in the market, where we have created a score mechanism to calculate the score from the like the social media creator engagement, where how they will gain the likes, subscribers, and views in the next specific pool or the specific time period, where they just need to track that content creator, is it growing or not, he is gaining the views or not, or just they can track the score history and can bet on the score. Just they need to bet which number he is going to get after the 7 days, from the 0 to 100, and then if they predicted it accurately, they are going to get highest amount of reward. So yeah, just our simple fundamental is like a win reward as you predict close to the predictions. So the main shift for the demo 4 is like a reward distribution strategy. Previously, we have decided for the instant flow distribution, where we are using the Superfluid for distributing the rewards. And but for gaining the more user retention, like in the poly market, there is one major issue, like user don't stick to the platform that much. Like they betted on the one pool and they gone, or they don't come again for the betting. So we want users to engage with our platform, they try out our different products and all the things. So we are shifting to the stream flow mechanism, so where user will get the money after distributing the reward point, they will gradually get their rewards out from the pool. So yeah, demo 4 updates, like we got the 20 early users, and we have started to market our product in the events from all over the Dubai. Now we are in DevCon, and we are talking with the users here, and also with the different teams that are building, and also the users that have already used Polymarket. And users are pretty much liking the product. They want something where they can bet on such products and use the something things. So we have onboarded 20 early users and launched 4 pools, and then also the pool amount is going up every day. We have our own bus token, and then event marketing helped us a lot to gain traction into it, where users can just explore our product, and if they have any doubt they can just directly come to it. And tomorrow we are going to launch our Zili campaign, where the user can just test out our platform, bet with our testnet tokens, and can give their feedback, and we will reward them. And yeah, some UI UX improvement, which is very crucial, that we got into the demo 3 feedback. We have done this also. So I want to ship the demo, to hand over to the Niku, to our CTO, to present the platform.
Thank you, Maruti. So after getting the feedback from the last demo day from the Yao, Fran, and Yusuf, so like there are the more both the feedback in the UI UX as well as the in the technical side. So from the technical side, also Maruti also said that we have shifted from the instant distribution pool to stream distribution pool. So here we have deployed the contract, and we have first launched the first pool on the stream distribution pool, where like after the result declaration of the score prediction, then we will give the percentage as per their won the reward, or as per their predict the score. So we will just distribute that percentage in the stream distribution flow. So yeah, from the UI improvement, we have successfully integrated the Twitter API. So these all content creators are fetching from the Twitter API itself. And if you go to the bet on Creator Any, you can see the pools that are created on the base Sepolia testnet. Uh, exactly. Yeah, so these are the pools that are previously created, but these are from the instant distribution pool. The one pool that is newly created is of stream distribution pool that is stored on the Superfluid scanner. And we have changed the like how the users will know that what they are betting on. So these are the like fundamental attributes of that pool that must be showed to the user, so that they can bet according to that how they can set the score. So I've improved the UI as well as the like they can see the how much bets are going on to the from the persons, so they can predict that much score. So these are the you can set score from here also, and you can type here also. After that, you can invest the money by just giving the investment amount. And these like the 3 contracts right now deployed is of super token on Superfluid. So we have deployed the burst token for that, and the all the stream distribution will go from this flow only. So that are the some UI and technical updates in the Buzzify. Just like we are just right now focusing on marketing so that it can be reached by to the users, so that we can show them more over to the users. But like I think we have to improve some of the UI aspects also by in the user interface of that. But for that we have to launch that Zili so that user can interact with this platform. So yeah, these are some updates from the last. Any questions? Yeah.
Thanks, Niku and Marathi. First, one question I see on your front end, you have like 20% likes, 10% share or something like that, comments.
Yeah.
It
So
doesn't add up to 100%.
Yeah, so these percentage are of like comparing with the previous pool. So if the state is started and right now what is the state, so it will predict that yeah, how much is increment in the attributes of that pool.
Okay, it's the increments of
Yeah,
each
it's an increment. So
creator.
green represent that the yeah, they have increment 10% likes from the previous pool.
Okay. Well, last feedback we had is so BuzzFi is a platform for you to bet on the specific credits, not credit score, I mean social score of each content creator. It
Yeah.
can be on different platforms.
Yeah.
Last feedback we had was it was not clear the social score, how the social score was calculated. So user doesn't know how much they should be betting on, from the previous week or previous month. So that's how they
Yeah,
kind of
for 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 that also we have like just we are like thinking of to make that animation like the how users are betting their buzz tokens and how we are calculating the score of that content creators and and after that we are distributing the buzz tokens to the users. So we are thinking of that animation, but yeah, due to the some like time gap or traveling issues, like we are in Bangkok right now, so we are going to meet also on the Superfluid. But for the time constraint, like we did not make that animation in the website.
Okay, no problem with that. Any questions from the other judges here? No more questions? We can go to the next project. Thanks for presenting, BuzzFi team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Then I think we have two more projects left
I can
for
go.
presenting. Yeah, Mark, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Okay, so let me just start my screen share. Okay, so today, where is it? I'm gonna talk about DGen Dogs Mission 2. Does everybody see that okay?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, that's better. Okay, so DGen Dogs Mission 2. So as a bit of try to keep it short, a background on DGen Dogs. DGen Dogs launched at ETH Global, ETH Online Hackathon in 2021. It was named one of the 10 finalists. It won the Best Superfluid prize at the time, and the idea was to combine NFTs with DeFi. So the way DGen Dogs worked, DGen Dogs eventually, a few months later, launched on Polygon. The DGen Dogs uses noun-style auctions, sort of eventually daily auctions, but the proceeds for the auctions got swapped within the contracts to DeFi tokens. And the DeFi tokens were then used to create Superfluid streams to the winners of past auctions via a fairly complicated streamonomics formula. The idea was to provide incentives to those past auction winners to promote the future auctions because of that expectation of sharing in the proceeds. This worked well for a while. We had a good but small community. A lot of that community came from the Superfluid community. We had challenges breaking out of that smaller group, partly due to just the challenges of getting attention, and also the market in 2022. Terra Luna happened. Things didn't go well for NFTs in general. So things have kind of been very quiet on the DGen Dogs front. So DGen Dogs Mission 2 is an attempt to twofold, really. One is to sort of revive the community and the DGen Dogs by bringing them from Polygon to DGen Chain and into the Farcaster ecosystem, where hopefully the social network and connections within Farcaster will help kickstart the community once more. And also as yet another example of community streaming rewards, using streaming rewards to build community, like I've showed in the previous demos for the Maxi Moxies and the found pixel nouns and streaming rewards there. So for the purposes of the demo, I've created it's not the DGen Dogs collection yet, but that's coming very soon. But I created a collection called Pixel Pups, and Pixel Pups look a lot like DGen Dogs, except the colors are different. So I just changed the colors of the dog's bodies, generated 1,000 Pixel Pups. And so here's some examples, different colors than the DGen Dogs, but they look similar. I sent a link into the chat there. If you want to mint one and you have Warpcast Desktop, you can do that using the teleport frame. Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but feel free to go ahead and use that. So here's the key elements. So we have 201 dogs were minted on Polygon. So those will be bridged to DGen chain. There is still a 5 ETH treasury on Polygon, and that will be bridged, but not to DGen chain, to Base. So there is a DAO proposal that is active right now for this. So once that's executed, the 5 ETH will go to Base. It will be swapped for DGen and then locked in the DGen vault. For those who don't know, if you lock DGen in the DGen vault, you get a daily tipping allowance. So the 5 ETH should be enough to get the maximum of 10,000 as a daily DGen tipping allowance, or close to it, depending on the price of DGen when we do the swap. And so that means that we'll be able to tip 10,000 DGen per day. And we're going to use a tip to mint feature of DGen. It's kind of a special feature that the DGen team has, a bit of a partnership with Mint Club, where you can tip to mint Club tokens on DGen chain. So even though the DGen is locked on Base, the tipping allowance, and used in this way, allows you to mint Club tokens on DGen chain. And so the idea is to deploy a token using Mint Club, which is a bonding curve token. So it has the liquidity managed by the bonding curve on DGen. And for the purposes of the demo, that's Pupcoin. It's going to be a different token for DGen Dogs, but for the purpose of the demo, Pupcoin is the token. And so what's going to happen is each day we're going to tip the 10,000. It's going to automatically mint the Pupcoin. And then I have a contract that I will mention in a minute that basically takes those minted tokens and converts them to Superfluid super tokens and starts streaming them to a pool, Superfluid distribution pool of dog owners. Over a period of time, I'm thinking that's going to be 90 days, but that's I'm up for suggestions of what's a good amount. The idea here is that by streaming the tokens, it acts as a bit of a vesting mechanism, reducing sell pressure of the token. And then finally, the plan is to restart the daily auctions, but this time via Farcaster Frame. And the proceeds from the auctions would sort of go into the mix as well, get to mint the token, get upgraded, added to the stream to increase the reward stream to each of the dog owners. So here's the overview of how this is going to work. We have 3 chains here. We can see currently on Polygon, 201 NFTs and 5 WETH wrapped Ether in the treasury. So as I said, the dogs are going to be bridged across to DGen chain. And the way that's going to work, I'll show you in a minute. It's sort of an opt-in mechanism. I'm calling it teleporting your dog. So you can use a Farcaster frame to do that, and it will check that you own the dog on Polygon. So it's sort of a private, centralized bridge, if you will, running on my server that will do that and mint the dog, same ID, same image on DGen chain. And as I mentioned, I explained this part already, where the treasury is going to go to the DGen vault on Base, and the tip to mint each day will happen minting the Mint Club token, which will go to the DogBot Ethereum address. For technical reasons, this cannot go to a contract. It needs to go to a regular Ethereum address, and that's where the pool streamer contract comes into play. So the pool streamer contract basically lets you register sources of where the tokens are going to come from. And so there'll be at least one source. And in this example, it would be Dogbot. So Dogbot basically approves the pool streamer contract to transfer his pup coin. And the pool streamer contract gets called once a day, and it basically takes all of Dogbot's pup coin, upgrades it to Pupcoin X, the Superfluid wrapped version of the Mint Club token, and then updates the stream to the pool. And the other things, the ERC 721 Pool Manager, you may recall if you were at one of the previous demos, is sort of a transfer hook for NFTs that will add member units to a Superfluid distribution pool based on who owns the token. So if it's minted or transferred, your member units get updated. For the purposes of this demo, each NFT holder gets 10 units in the pool. I chose 10 rather than 1 because it kind of leaves the option to do some additional, perhaps, incentives or rewards, which are sort of fractional. So potentially you could give 1 unit for doing some action. I haven't really thought further than that, but it's a possibility. Finally is the auction house contract, and this is almost completely the nouns auction contract with a few small tweaks. And so those would go daily and would sort of circle back in to the system. So Mint Club token for the demos, Pupcoin. It's an exponential bonding curve token that starts at very small amount degen each, and it's going up to this. You can design these curves however you want, and that's how this one is designed. The actual one for degen dogs is going to be a little different, but same idea. And so, as I said, minted daily, upgraded, and so this is just a view of the Pupcoin page on Mint Club, what it looks like, what the curve looks like. So here's the actual page. Now you can see here transactions. So you can see these are the transactions. Oh, look at this. Interesting. So you can see these bigger ones here. If you, I don't know how close you can see, but some of these are like 1,300 WDGen swapped for 87 million Pupcoin. The ones that are in this range here are the daily tip to mint. So I've been, from my own personal Warpcast account, tipping like 90% of my allowance for the purposes of this demo for the past few days. So it's been minting the Pupcoin, as you can see. Now, what's interesting is there are a few other smaller ones here that are other people who have been minting Pupcoin. So I don't know who those are. Maybe that's some of you, maybe not, but that's interesting. And that's part of what we hope will happen here, is that by having the Mint Club token, that not only are the dogs going to be purchasing or minting these tokens with the tip allowance, but that other people are going to get sort of bullish on this and say, well, this is going to keep going up. These dogs are going to keep minting along this bonding curve. Like I want to get in on that, and it's going up, right? So try to expand the community that way too, which I think could be interesting. So that is what the token looks like. And so there is a Superfluid, a wrapped Superfluid version of this token, and that's what's getting streamed. And the streaming will act as a bit of a vesting, so you won't be able to sell as much as you want, because a lot of it's going to be sort of in that streamer contract, streaming it slowly to the dog owners. So you have an incentive to hold your dog and whatnot, and also an incentive to to buy a dog or to bid in the auctions, which we'll see in a minute. So these are the contracts. I think I spoke to these already. And so frame. So I have some frames here. Let me just quickly. This is a Pixel Pups right now on the DGen Chain Explorer. So you can teleport your own, and yours will show up here. There's the auction house contract and the pool streamer contract. One thing I'll show here quickly, this is the pool streamer contract. So what's going to happen is you can register a source here. Of course, users aren't going to really see any of this on the Block Explorer, but there'll be a cron job, which isn't set up currently, that calls this pool stream. So pool stream is what sucks up the token from the the Ethereum address and streams it and everything. So if we do this here, we can see that because I'm calling it from the same account that has the token, so I'm going to be sending 187 million pupcoin up to the pool streamer contract, and it's going to update the stream and stuff. So, and on DGen chain, I can do that for less than a penny. And over here, you have the pupcoin pool. This is the pool. So because what I did there was updating the flow distribution. It hasn't showed up here, but so each day the amount that's flowing in to the pool is increasing because we're adding more tokens that are minted here. And you can see the current holders and the pupcoin keeps going up per second. In terms of frames, we have here, this teleport your dog. Hopefully you've tried this already, but if you haven't, I'll show you quickly. So it says check. So if you had a Polygon dog in the real DGen dogs, you would be putting your own token ID and it would verify your ownership. But here you can just click this by leaving that blank and it will randomly choose one of the dogs between 0 and 200, which are the dogs, the DGen dogs that need to be bridged. And so this is going to choose 120. I'll teleport. And this is teleportation in progress. And this is being minted by my server minting accounts. So this is a sponsored gas transaction. You won't have to send gas to do this. Check status. Okay, now it's complete. So I can hit the Explorer. I can go over here to DGen chain. I can see it's been minted there. What I can also do is I can share. So I have what I like to call a flex frame for an NFT. It kind of shows that, oh, I just minted this NFT and I'm not going to cast it right now, but there's a button there, get yours, which basically lets somebody else, it's a way to spread the word, get people to mint or bid in the auctions in this case. And so that is that frame. So when you hit that get yours, what will show up is this, which is the auction frame. So daily, there would be one pup that's up for auction. This auction here has ended. For the purposes of the demo, the auctions last 3 minutes. That's 3 times longer than a SenseSpace chat. It's still short. So what I'm going to do now is settle this auction, and then just so I can demo this quickly. But now that the auction has been settled, the new auction has started. So if you're out there and you've got some DGen, minimum 100 DGen is what the reserve price is here. I'm gonna put in 101 and submit a bid just to show you. You can see there's less than 3 minutes left here. So this is native DGen, by the way, since this is DGen chain. So it's kind of like sending ETH. You don't have to approve a transaction. You can just send it because this is the native token of the DGen chain, which is DGen. So now here we are, it shows highest bidder. And notice that because the highest bidder has a Farcaster account that it shows the Farcaster username, keeps it a bit more social. If the bidder didn't, because the code basically looks at the address and says, okay, can I find a Farcaster user for this address? And if it can't, it'll show the address there and maybe even the ENS name. I haven't done that part yet, but that could be added in here too. So 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Other people can bid if they want, and you can refresh to see if they're new bidders and so forth. And then once the 1 minute and 47 seconds is up, it'll go back to that state where it needs to be settled. One thing I haven't coded yet, but because the auction house contract is currently the owner of PixelPup 214, the auction house is receiving a stream of Pupcoin X because it is a member of that pool. So what I'm going to do, a small change, is that whoever settles the auction is going to get the auction house's Pupcoin X, or for DGen dogs, whatever it's going to be called. So a bit of incentive to settle the auction because you get some of this token, and it's a real, unlike a Biscuit, if you were with Superfluid for mission 1, Biscuit was a token that you did receive for settling an auction, but Biscuit really wasn't backed by anything. There was no LP, and in this case, Pupcoin X or whatever it's called for degen dogs is going to be worth something, and you can downgrade it and swap it for degen at whatever the price is on the bonding curve. So that is this frame. One more frame to show is this one. If you were at some of the previous demo days, this will look familiar because this is what I call a pool management frame from a user perspective here. So this is a Pixel Pups pool. And so I probably need to add some commas in here with Pixel Pups because of the numbers involved. But you can see I've received over 2 million Pixel Pups here, this particular user in my testing and stuff. It's not connected to the pool yet. So here I can claim, and it will tell me, I don't have to execute this now, but it shows me that when I claim, which is actually behind the scenes a connect transaction, you can see all the Pupcoin X that I will receive in this simulation to 2.5 million Pupcoin X. And then my wallet will continue updating with this amount going forward. So back over here, we can see that it's ended. Again, I can settle the auction and then the next auction starts. And because I did that here in the pool, because now the new Pixel Pup has gone to me as the winner of the auction, so my stream is updated here. So I'm probably this one here, and so I've got more. Now I have 45. I've got 100 units, which is 10 Pixel Pups, and so I've got a bigger stream than the other members of the pool for that reason. Going down here, 6 minutes ago, we can see that was the pool stream transaction that I did that basically increased the flow to 4.5 million Pupcoin per day to the pool. And so, that's how the ERC 721 pool manager works. If I send my pups to someone else, they get the shares of the pool for those dogs. And so that is basically the idea for how things are going to work, but with degen dogs. So we saw these two frames. The flex frame, where you can sort of flex your Pixel Pup or eventually your degen dog, a pool manager frame. This is just answers the question, why stream to dogs? And again, this is sort of a community rewards and incentive mechanism. We're earning yield on the degen. And by the way, we'd get about 1.5 million degen for the treasury. And using this tip mechanism, we should be able to generate over 3 million degen in the tip to mint. So it's a 200% reward percentage, or don't call it a yield, but 1.5 million, get 3 million each year, not bad. And that doesn't take into account any of the potential upside for the bonding curve token itself if others join in and move that price up. So finally, that's basically how it's going to work. So going forward, this is really close to actually launching with degen dogs. There's a few minor contract tweaks I want to add based on the testing here. Of course, bridging the 5 ETH. There's a DAO proposal that will close. Voting will close in a few days. We have a quorum, so we're good on that front. And then we can start moving that treasury, lock in the degen, getting the tip allowance, and the other steps. So just to deploy all these contracts, including the Mint Club token, the actual ones that will be used by degen dogs. So redeploying them for the degen dogs, and then setting everything up and sending out the frames, getting people to teleport their dogs, and restarting the auctions, and hopefully leveraging the Farcaster decentralized social network to help reignite the community. There also are about 41 dogs that are owned by the treasury. So those we'll have to figure out what to do, but they can be used for promotional means, perhaps as an incentive to influential Farcaster users to get them to share it with their followers. Things like that, I think, could help expand users and expand the community. That's the idea. So in summary, this is, another example of using token streaming of rewards as a community incentive, as a community building mechanism. And that's what's going to be DGen Dog's mission 2, which should be launching soon. Anyways, that's about it.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Very cool. I mean, each time you surprise us with 2 weeks time, how much progress you can make. And I think it's a very good incentive for users to relook at the DGen docs they have, and also to mint new DGen docs in the future. It's basically activating NFT holders, because it's not just NFT, it's NFT combined with kind of bonding curve mechanisms with future rewards attached to your NFT, and make the community bonding together. We found it very cool, and really excited for it to be launched, the V2. Any questions from judges here? I think Yusuf is saying, if DGen worth $1, how much your treasury gonna worth?
Yeah, that's not to mention that potential upside. Of course, swapping ETH to DGen is also a risk, because it could go the other way. But DGen used to be 5 cents, so buying it 1 cent is better. But
the architecture is kind of complicated for people who's not familiar with the DGen tipping allowance, etc. So maybe when you're onboarding users, make it much simpler. They just know that they're gonna get mint token streams to them every day, and each time there's a new auction, they're gonna also have the new dog owner will get a portion of the reward streams as well. So it becomes much easier for users.
Yeah, one of the things I want to do is I'm gonna create a fancy spreadsheet that kind of predicts the price of the token as you tip to mint all these. So basically give people an idea of sort of estimates of what the reward streams, what to expect, right? With all of the caveats that would be attached to it. But otherwise, it's a bit hard to sort of say, okay, well, how much should I bid on this dog? Am I going to get like 5,000 DGen worth per year, or is it half that, or 10% of that, right? So I want to be able to give people a better idea without sort of promising returns. But
yep. Cool. Any questions from the judges here? I also want to know the general judges' opinion about bonding curve, about NFT. Do you think NFT is over? Do you think it's a good way to incentive community to have NFTs again? And what do you think about the mix between bonding curve tokens and NFT holders in general? We are a little bit short of time, but I think it's a very interesting topic to know your opinion also.
As a very big DGen dog holder, I'm extremely excited about mission 2. Cool. Very cool. And I think the bonding curve will make the rewards look really high, which is very good. I think it's a mechanism I've been thinking a lot about, because it allows you to create a very high price with a very low amount of money. So it's really good for streaming rewards.
Yeah, and I do think it's going to be interesting. You can just see this pup coin was just I haven't told anybody about it outside of this call, but of course it's on the Mint Club site, so if you're browsing around you'd find it, and some people have actually bought a little bit, and so I think it's interesting. There's a bit of a community around these Mint Club tokens. Many of them are meme tokens, but I think it's interesting given the fact that there's sort of a known entity that will be minting these regularly, that that'll may bring people in, because if you get in like any of these curves, right, you get in early, that's to your benefit. And so we'll see if we can get a bit of extra community involvement from people who are coming in from that perspective rather than the NFT perspective. So I think that could add something new to the mix.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mark. Quite cool. can't wait to see the V2 live. Now we have one more project left for present. Heisenberger, Daitva, are you ready? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. Hi everyone. So our project is called Super Boost, and we are building an incentive structure on top of Super Boring. For people, I bet like through the demo days, everybody has already gotten to know what Super Boring is. But for people who are not aware, Super Boring is a project developed by the Superfluid team, and it's a way for people to swap from one asset to another by per second basis on a per second basis. So you can swap from, let's say, USDC to ETH or ETH to Space every second. So, and it's like a DCA mechanism, but on a very minute per second basis. This is how the dashboard of a super boring looks like. So this is a degen to ETH stream, and my allocation is about one degen for a month, and I'm receiving this particular ETH for it. Our particular app allows users to incentivize people to DCA. So we're incentivizing people to use super boring to swap from one asset to the other. We have gone through multiple architecture ways, and this was our first one, which we developed it using a super app. We talked a lot, we discussed a lot, and we found that super app, while they are great, there was a bit of an overkill for the app that we were trying to build. And this is the architecture that we had finally finalized on. So the idea is that the traders directly send their money to Super Boring. So now this becomes like a permissionless app where we are not sitting in middle of the traders or the Super Boring. They can start their stream directly from any dashboard, any interface on Super Boring, and they can come to our app to register their streams, and they can be rewarded for that. And this is an older diagram, so we're using Cello. We have moved from chains to chains, from Cello to Base to now OP. We were not able to showcase our demo last time because Base had some issues with the wallet, but hopefully we are doing it on OP tonight, and Aizen will show it to you. Apart from this, the reward systems are a streaming distribution. We found that this is the best one that works for us because it incorporates the time flow and the amount of units that are given to the user in one instance only. So the rewards are based on inflow. So the bigger your inflow rate, the bigger your rewards would be. And the earlier you start your stream, so earlier you will start receiving your rewards as well. Some kind of reward mechanisms that we have thought about are sabotages, token burns, and NFTs. So apart from the usual, you send the stream and the community rewards to for making of that stream, we have like you can actually ask someone to DCA out of a particular token, and you can reward them in another token. The other could be a token burn where you DCA, but instead of rewarding you, the community promises that they will burn a certain amount of tokens. And the third one is an NFT. So anybody who DCAs from one token to another, they get a special NFT rewarded by the community. Over the past 2 weeks, we have been also like working on our branding and trying to get everything right. And this is the color scheme that we have chosen for us. And I guess Aizen can show you the actual demo to show you how it works now.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Let me share the screen. Okay. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see it.
Okay. How can I hide the okay. So we deployed so we were on base last time, and as Daytiva mentioned, we had some issues. We moved to Optimism, and hopefully everything goes smooth. So we deployed a token called Boost, Super Boost, and this is a super token. And the way we have our current architecture set up, we have to deploy one contract per Torx address, so per pair, right? And so we have deployed one token, one contract for USDC to ETH DCA contract. And so we have set up we have minted 10 million Super Boost tokens and then deposited them in the contract and then start the stream. So you can see that the stream is being distributed, but there are no participants. This is my wallet from testing. So you can see I have already received some tokens, but right now I have 0 units. So let's move to the dApp. So we kind of, adjusted the color scheme to this is just basic setup. And so let's say this is the pair here. Here's where we'll see all the pairs available for incentives. And of course, when are we going to introduce different mechanisms like, if you DCA, you get an NFT. If you DCA, you burn. Of course, all the relative information will be displayed here. But for now, we have a 10 million, it should be boost, 10 million tokens set up. So if we want to DCA from USDC to ETH, we're now interacting with Torix directly. So we're not interacting with our SP incentive, Super Boost incentives contract. This is directly to the Torix. So first we have to approve the contract. And once that's done, we're going to start the stream and DCA from USDC to ETH. Okay. So as you can see, we're sending 0.0919 USDC. This is a bridge USDC. We're getting the super token. So we're kind of upgrading the USDC to super USDC. We're getting the pool member NFT. This is from Torix. And then we're going to be streaming this, the super USDC to Torix. So let me confirm that. See, okay. So transaction successful, and we have started the stream to the Torix. So okay, let's go to portfolio. So here we see the stream, right? So we see the monthly flow, we see total stream. This is in real time. We're getting the flow rate and then increasing by a second. This is how much I have already received from previous testing. And then this is well, it should be boost, but this is the amount of token I have received from the pool previously. Right? So we can delete the position. This essentially stops the stream to Torix. And I'm going to get to that later. But now, so the stream can be started from any interface. So this can be Super Boost or Super Boring or some other interface that implements the Super Boring integration. And so to actually earn rewards, we have to actually connect to the pool. So I'm going to connect to the SB incentives contract, and I'm going to get the membership NFT. And after the transaction is successful, we're going to have 100% of the units because we're the only one. But our incentives contract handles the units, right? So if there's more people, it's evenly kind of distributed based on flow rate. So if you have more flow rate, you get more units. Okay, so now I'm gonna, this is a transaction to connect to the pool. I'm already connected, but I'm just gonna confirm the transaction. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, so as you can see, now we have 100% of the units. So this means we're gonna be getting 100% of the distributed boost. Since I have already claimed 4.1 boost, so this, right, 25.94 minus this is how much I can claim. And, we have set up the basic flow. All we have to do right now is, do a little bit of tweaking and implement also pulling the real-time rewards of the token and some small state managements on the front end. But overall, the workflow is done. We have reached, let's say, what architecture we're going to work with and what the user flow is going to look like. So now that we have connected to the pool and we're getting tokens, there's a problem. And the problem is that I can delete the stream. So if I delete the stream right now from USDC to ETH, let's see. What's going to happen is that I'm going to keep my units. And this is because, again, we're checking it. We're doing everything async. And we don't have access to external information. So if you cancel the stream from outside our super app, we can't know that. And so that's a problem. And the way we fix that is through a liquidation function. So let's see this confirmed. Okay. Okay, so now I have no active positions. The the stream has been stopped, so I'm not streaming any USDC, Super USDC to the Torex contract, but you can see here I still have 100% of the units. So I'm still getting rewards. And so the way we go around this and the way we fix this is that we have a function called liquidate. So if I call this function, what's this going to do is essentially burn my membership NFT and then put my units back to zero because it sees that my flow rate, net flow rate is zero. And so we're essentially kind of revoking your units. And so after the transaction is confirmed, I won't be able to, get any more tokens or claim any more tokens. Okay. All right, zero. So that's essentially how it works. And so we talked about this in our last demo as well. We can have a mechanism where there's a deposit. So you deposit a certain amount of tokens, but then that introduces other problems like what token is the deposit going to be? Is it going to be Ethereum? Is it going to be the USDC itself? And then that introduces new UX issues, right? Like what if you don't have USDC, but you want to get the rewards? The second way is that, well, if you get caught not streaming into the Torex and receiving rewards, you forfeit your rewards. And that is plausible, but that will require a different architecture. But so far, we think that this is sufficient enough. The incentives are there because me as a user, if I'm getting rewards and there's someone who's taking advantage of that, it's in my interest to liquidate them, i.e. stop their stream. And so we think that that's a enough incentive for people to, let's say, either randomly call the function or have their own nodes or whatever set up, which monitors everything and then calls a function. Now, we also created our own indexer, which basically keeps track of everything. So if you start a stream and then start to receive rewards and then stop the stream to the Torex, so you're not DCing anymore, our indexer is going to catch that, and then your wallet will be marked as, needs to be liquidated. And so at this point, since there's no extra incentive mechanism like forfeiting your rewards or deposit, we think that us operating the liquidation is sufficient enough. We'll just have an indexer that checks everything, but then also other people can access the indexer as well. But we couldn't deploy for this demo because the indexer we're using, which is NVO, we didn't go for Graph. We're using NVO because it's much faster than Graph. But they moved from V1 to V2, so we had to migrate, and so there's migration issues. But the event handlers are set up, and so pretty soon we'll have that also ready. And yeah, and we also have the front end fully worked out so that the flow works together and all state management and everything's handled, right? All the UX. So yeah, that's where we at.
Thanks, Heisenberger and Itva. Quite cool. Because for people who doesn't know about Super Boring, it's our stream index. So it allows you to DCA into any pair of assets like USDC to ETH or USDC to Degen as you want. And what they have built is an incentive on top of Super Boring. So if you are DCAing between USDC to ETH, you can get maybe boost at token rewards or other type of rewards. And I actually talked with a partner inside the ecosystem. They have a token which will be quite useful for them is to use your incentives for people to buy their token on Base, and they will use their treasury to reward people to buy their tokens because their token is used mostly, for like DJing a little bit for tipping the community members. And once the community members receive the tip, they usually just go to sell. So there's lots of sell pressure on the token. So they want to incentive buying. So the one way to incentive buying is using Super Boost. So once you open the position, you can get extra this type of token. So which means you get a discounted price for this token. And there's real use case for that. So I really like the project. It needs to be a little bit more refined, but we can do that together with a partner together. Any other questions from judges here? What's your impression? it's one of our DeFi projects built on top of Superboring. Fran, do you want to say anything, or Youssef?
I wanted to say it's really cool. I'm very, very excited about this. And I was just having a conversation now with Sam at the same time. And I think there's actually some extra coolness that you could add on top. One thing I did want to mention, if you guys are going to allow users to create positions from Superboost directly, is that Superboring has a built-in front-end fee, and you guys can claim that, which means that if you build it properly, basically any user who creates their stream through your front end will be paying you a small percentage. I think Youssef can probably show you how to do that. Maybe you're already doing it.
No, they're actually using the Superborn macro, which makes it super easy, so they're aware of it, and they don't even have to like code anything in the user data or anything. It's just a variable that they pass to the macro. Yeah, that's how they can like do it into transactions, because they approve and start DCA directly. There's no like anything else. There's no wrapping, no connection to pools, no anything.
Very cool, very cool. But yeah, David, yeah, let's talk afterwards. I think I know a way to get people to deposit rewards, basically for tokens they like, even if they're not the owner of the token. So I think I know a mechanism to do that. I'll tell you later.
Perfect. Yeah, looking forward to talk to that. And like you already mentioned, so like any other architecture that we looked at just increase the friction points. And so we are using the macro contract, and we can just input our own address as the distributor. So we can claim a percentage of fees from there.
Cool. Any other questions from the judges? All good? We're all good? All right. So first, I want to maybe wrap up our season 2. We had lots of really good experience, see the builders building in season 2 this time, and lots of really high quality projects built in just almost like 2 months. And more live projects is going to be live, like the SenseSpace is going to be live, AstraBlock is going to be live, and Degen Docs is going to be live. And also the Superboost is ready and to be improved and then to be used by our ecosystem partners. So really successful season 2. And we also have a hacker house in Bangkok. Actually, some of the Frontier Guild members are with us already in Bangkok. So we really see a community that's with lots of strengths, lots of sharing between different developers, and lots of love for you guys who have built really cool projects. We really appreciate that. And we want to see that live in the next 2 weeks. And any other additional congratulations to everyone, yeah? Any additional comment you want to give here, yeah?
Yeah, no, same. I mean, very, very impressed by everybody's work. I think it looks like the model works, right? Everybody's coming up every week with really, really good improvements. You know, we've sponsored a lot of hackathons, but I've never seen I've never had such a hard time judging, to be honest. Like usually it's very easy because some people do stuff and nobody else does. But here it's like really, really hard. So congratulations, everyone. Yeah, well, maybe this, just to confirm, the stream will be going on for 2 more weeks, right?
2 weeks. Yeah. So after Judge Day, the stream will be going on for 2 more weeks, and it will stop on November the 20th.
But you know, there's a lot of news coming out now from Superfluid. If you don't have it on yet on Twitter, set notifications so that you see our new tweets, because you're gonna see a lot of cool updates. And you know, the next season of Frontier Guild is gonna be even bigger. So I'd love to see a lot of you join again. So yeah, congratulations, everyone. It's been amazing seeing your progress.
Yeah, thanks also judges for joining for all the season. Thanks for all the judges, and thanks for the judges today. And thanks for your support. Thanks builders for all your energy, and let's keep it up and continue in the Frontier Guild season 3. And yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
See you in the next one.